Morning. Welcome to Florida Jeep Rides, off-road travel. So I'm Matt, and today we're out at Three Lakes, the north end, which is off Highway 441, and it does not access the middle portion or the southern portion of Three Lakes. It is an active cattle ranch, and we're gonna have to go across a cattle gate in order to get in. And we're gonna go for a ride down and around the main roads. We're gonna take the loop up over here, then we're gonna cut underneath the turnpike through a tunnel, do a little bit of driving around here, and then come back out and catch the other half of that loop. So it is an active cattle ranch at Three Lakes and a wildlife management area. So there is hunting going on. So after April is done, they'll be done with the hunting for the season. So if you're out here, be respectful of the hunters because they're out here to hunt. It's just this section.
No, it's just this from here to over to the other highway there.
Yep. Deer season 72, 2 does, 83 hogs, 46 turkeys for so far. A big hog, 200 pounds or 200?
200 pounds.
200 pounds. Yeah. And a big buck, 155 pound, 8-pointer. Riding with us today,
Scott and Eric.
And he was with us last Saturday in his Rubicon. Nice 35-inch tires. Also riding with us today is Steve, and he's been with us on several trails. Yeah. So we're heading out.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you on the trail. Right, this is an active cattle ranch, and we should see plenty of cattle out here. So give the cows their space. It is that little cattle grate, so plenty of cows, and they got quite a few deer and turkeys and hogs out here this year. Well, we just finished up our devotion, and now we're progressing forward through the northern loop. We're going to make our way around the northern side. Somewhere out here there's a homestead, and it's on the northern parts, what's left of it. That cuts over toward the Turnpike eventually. Lots of cattle poo.
Yeah.
No snakes in that hole. Right now it's dry season, so most of the culverts are empty. This would normally be full of water down here. It's dry. Everything's really dry. Now that is a thistle. And to put that thistle into perspective, that's how big it is. And that one, as thick as that stalk is, probably tastes pretty good. I think you can cook part of this for some kind of tea, but the main part that I'm after is the stalk. And in the side of the stalk, you can see it's kind of peel off some of that green stuff till you get to, oh, this one's wet and juicy, it's splashing all over me. I don't think this one's ripe. Because it's don't taste right. But they call them thistles because these little white spikes are like sharp little needles. So you don't want to run into that and give it a hug. You don't want to try none of that thistle?
No, I'll pass. I'll pass.
No.
I usually try everything, but I think I'll pass on this one.
That one's probably pretty good because it's big enough.
Yeah.
That one, not so much. Do you want me to slice you up a piece of thistle to try?
No, thank you.
This thistle hasn't bloomed yet, but it's as tall as me. It's a darker green too. It's also growing into a water area down here where there's a lot of water. See where the cows have come through. We're going to take a brief detour down road number 12. We're heading right toward the Turnpike, so we'll see where this takes us. Two tunnels out here that go under the Turnpike. Those are only found in the northern half, which can only be accessed from Highway 441. That's road number 12 all the way to the end. I mean, there was a fork in the road. This looks less like a legitimate road, but there's not been a sign to the end.
Out here, though, it's pretty.
There's not been a sign to the end where it said no vehicles. Actually only my second time to the very north portion. It's a bit more of a drive, but it is pretty cool. Here's a little note for people who like to stop and move turtles off the road. Moving a turtle, you want to put him on the side of the road which he was heading to, because if you put him over on that side, he's just going to turn around and try to get back to that side. So if you turn them loose, put them toward where they're heading. We just passed Williams Road and we're heading toward the second tunnel on the Turnpike. which is a loop road, hopefully, and that'll get us back, and then we'll go onto the Turnpike and then head back out. So where you see these signs that say rock crossing, stay between the posts, it may be underwater, but if you stay between the posts, you're driving on that rock. If you go off of the rock that is there, then you could be getting over here into this mud. And that's when people get stuck. So if there's signs that say rock crossing, stay between the posts, and it's covered in water, you should feel safe going through it. Just go slow. But this is dry right now. But come wet season, it's gonna be a whole lot more funner. And we'll be back in probably late June after we start getting rain to come back out here and show you the difference between dry season and wet season. The state of the trail on 3 Lakes North today is pretty dry. Have you even put it in 4-wheel drive? I haven't even been in 4-wheel drive. Steve, you're blinding me off the windshield. But this is pretty much what most of 3 Lakes looks like. It's open, it's prairies, it's got deer, it's got birds. 3 Lakes in the middle portion is where we saw that big alligator a few years back. So there are gators out here, and I have seen them out here at the north end too. But we're gonna continue on trail number 3. Let's go. Look at that big grass prairie out there. So that's road number 3. This comes off of the Turnpike, and road number 3 is a loop road that runs you through all the stuff that we just went through. So Williams Road and road number 3. The Turnpike is over that way, and the middle portion is down that way. But the gate at the end of Williams Road, I've never seen it open. It's getting warm. Turnpike tunnel again. If you take a right there, that's what they call loop road. Doesn't really loop, just goes down to the end and kind of just ends like the road we were on 12. Eventually it becomes not much of a visible trail anymore. So we're coming to an end. I've been in 2-wheel drive the entire time. Because it's so dry, there's no reason to even put it in 4-wheel drive. Dead black racer. Imagine having a job out here where you work, maintain roads. This little guy crawling. Well, he's got attitude. Crossing the road. I'm gonna photograph him and then let him loose. It's a little ribbon. He's gone. Little ribbon snake crossing the road. Boy, did it have attitude. And the mouth open for such a teeny little thing. Not much bigger around than a pencil. But snake's a snake. Either way, I like finding them. You just been on a Florida Jeep ride. We've been at 3 lakes today, and we've ridden trails, caught a snake, found a dead snake, found a turtle, saw an eagle, rode lots of trails, and discovered that come June, maybe Father's Day, this would be an outstanding place to come out and ride because there are great opportunities for riding on trails. I'm Matt.
I'm Steve. I'm Scott.
Hey! And thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Off-road travels, Florida Jeep ride, North 3 Lakes. We'll see you on the next trail ride. Thanks for joining us.